Yo, what's going on, guys? Back at it again for I think episode 4. Last episode we talked about moving averages. The episode before that we talked a little bit about consolidation, identifying a trend and stuff, etc. Getting your basic price action down. And all in all, we're starting to get a little bit closer to the idea of the strategy here. And I really like where we're heading. I think the most important thing I have to say so far is make sure you're applying these concepts. Do not just watch the video and feel like, damn, I know it. Well, you don't. You have to go on the charts yourself, apply the concepts, really visualize it, go chart 50 stocks, 100 stocks. Do this like a few days of the week. You have the time, don't say that you don't. If you're watching these videos, obviously you feel the need to become successful at this, so you can make the time to do so. So, with that being said, go out there and give yourself some data to work with and put the ideas to use. Now, today, I think I hinted at this a little bit in the last video. We're going to be talking about relative strength and just overall a really quick, simple concept and how we can use this to kind of dial in on what we're looking to trade. Now, I ended it off in the last video slightly talking about looking at the indices and kind of seeing what they're doing. And with that, once you know what they're doing, you can kind of it's like a tag up to see how your stocks will be doing and how to pick out stocks. So, with that being said, let's just get a quick idea here. So let's just say around the S&P 500. So we can see the S&P 500 here. It's a nice uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high. And it's just kind of like identify, let me zoom this out a little bit more, this general structure here, what this looks like. You got that? Okay. Now let's go look at some charts. So we can see, let's just clarify this, S&P is in higher high, higher low. It bounced off the 50-day, now it's trading above all these averages, got some nice buying volume. Now how is Apple looking? Apple has been really trending higher. It never touched that 50-day. It created a higher high, higher low. Yes, it's like almost breaking out to all-time highs, which is a little bit behind the S&P. A little bit behind the S&P here. But we can see it's had a much larger move in recent time. This thing is basically gone. It just almost looks straight up. So you can see, dang, Apple's looking really good, especially in terms of its ending for this last little bit of week here. So we have this last move up, we kind of break out of this consolidation, and then on the S&P we get rejected. We get a nice little rejection candle. As you can see, the sellers came in and we wicked down. Now, if we look at Apple, that didn't happen. We had lots of buyers show up, full buy candle, and we really broke out of that consolidation phase. A little right here. Let me circle that. This little consolidation phase. We really broke out. Buyers stepping up to the plate. Nice candles. So we can see that Apple has really good relative strength. It's stronger than the index. Now, what does that mean? So since Apple is stronger than the index, and it's also within the index, that means if the S&P were to get a nice really green candle and start moving up even more than it already is, then Apple is going to make even a bigger move. It's going to be even stronger. It's going to go up even more, even faster than the S&P, even more than it's doing now. It's a strong stock, and if the sector, or if the index it's in is strong, then it's going to go up even higher. Sorry for the rain. Hopefully it's soothing. It's absolutely pouring outside right now. Good thing I just watered the flowers and I didn't do it too much, so hopefully they don't drown. Okay, now furthermore, uh, so we just had the index it was in. Apple is in the S&P 500. One sec. And I'll show you how to do that really quick. What index is Apple in? Normally you can just go on the S&P website, S&P. There we go. This isn't directly said, but you can kind of see here. Apple and Nvidia rally to 3 trillion crore, boost S&P 500 to record. So yeah, that's how we got that. There we go. This is another good one. So you just have to do a little bit of searching around and stuff like that. The S&P 500, and you can kind of see what stocks are in here. And now there's also the Nasdaq, which is a lot of tech companies. S&P is also tech, but it's a little bit other stuff as well. So yeah, if you're ever curious, I literally just do a Google search. So that's like how I do it. If you're curious. Now, now that you know the index it's in, next thing you need to know is the sector. So we go from index to sector, and we're trying to identify where the stock is within each of these. So, you have all of these sectors of the S&P 500. You have tech, finance, healthcare, consumer discretionary, etc., etc., etc. You have all these different sectors. And obviously, this different stocks of the S&P are going to be in different sectors relative to what kind of company they are. So we can see here the technology sector. Obviously, Apple is a technology company. It would be in this sector. So let's see how the technology sector is holding up. So we have something a little bit different here. We didn't break out of this high recently. We did go down and touch the 50, kind of like the S&P 500. And now we're coming back up and we're trailing, and we have a little bit of weakness, but we got good bit of buyers. We got this nice healthy uptrend with a lot of buyers still intact. And furthermore, I think it's important to clarify this. We created a higher high, we just created that higher low, and now we're looking to create a higher high. So there's that. And let's see how Apple is holding up. If we were to pull up the Apple chart, so look at the Apple chart here. Again, Apple chart seeing all those buyers. It's recently breaking out of the consolidation. It's looking really, really strong. So compared to its sector, it's looking really strong. So if its sector gets inflow and the sector goes upwards, then Apple stock is really going to go upwards. Same kind of concept. If you get sector flow and index flow, so if the S&P gets inflow and we break out up higher, and the tech sector gets inflow and we break out higher, then expect Apple to really break out higher. Like seriously get a good push. Because there's just going to be all of this inflow into the indice or the index that it's in and the sector it's in. And people are going to be buying and allocating more money into the Apple stock because it's such a big name in this sector and in the index. So hopefully that makes sense. You kind of have to identify what sector the stock is in and which index it is in. Now that we know that, we can see Google here about to break out of a nice consolidation high right here. It's looking to make a higher high here. We have to see. Microsoft getting some nice inflow, big volume here, and looking to break out after making this higher high right here, higher low, looking to make another higher high and break out. So we want to see inflow into the index and inflow into the sector, tech. And Meta is lagging behind a little bit, but it just broke out of recent consolidation. It's above all of the lines. And so if we get sector inflow and index flow, positive flows, positive upwards flows, buyers, whatever you want to say, then expect this thing to go test up here again as well. So with that being said, you might be thinking, oh, well, obviously some look better than the others. Google doesn't look as good as Apple. Meta doesn't look good as Apple. Microsoft doesn't look as good as Apple. So obviously that should be like firing lights off and signals off in your brain. Okay, yeah, go look for which ones look the best. Which ones are the best ones? That's the whole point of going on here and charting and taking the hours out of your day every Sunday to figure out which stocks are the best, which sectors are the best, which sectors are getting the most inflow, which index is performing the best. What are the indexes saying? What are the sectors saying? And once you figure that out, dive in and what stocks are looking best within those sectors. So that's the general idea of using relative strength and kind of constructing it and using an intuitive kind of manner to really just solidify kind of finding the best stocks and locking in what you're going to be watching that week. So that's the idea of finding relative strength, and with the relative strength, you find the best sector, and within the best sector, you find the best stock. Now, once you find the best stock, like say if it's a really big company, that should be like setting off like freaking lights off in your brain again. Okay, I know Apple. Well, I also know companies that are really close to Apple. So let me go search up those names. Maybe they'll look good too. And you often see, more times than not, that will happen. Kind of names that are very similar in the same sector, and they're all getting inflow, and they're all looking good. There's going to be multiple opportunities. So then you figure out which one truly looks the best, and then you attack that. But the idea is you want to find the relative strength, you want to take advantage of it, and use it to the best of your advantage. So I know this video was relatively short, but I hope that made sense. I'm going to go on here and just show you what I go through every week. I'm just going to do a quick overview. So like here's some sectors that I just looked through, and I have a bunch of stocks in them, so I know. So I have the energy sector, so I'll search through all the energy names. I'll look up at, so it's the energy sector. What's that? That is XLE right here. XLE is looking weak, so I'd probably be expecting energy names to be looking weak. It's trading below all the lines besides the 200-day, so I'm expecting most of the names to be looking relatively weak. Now farther one, let me go back over here. By the way, go listen to this song for real. Free promo. This song is insane. I don't think I can play it on here because it'll probably be copyrighted. But dude, Need to Feel Love Extended Mix by Cosmic Gate is euphoria. Oh my god, put that on, bump it, just have a good day. So yeah, then you would look at the AI sector, you look at cybersecurity, shippers, tankers, Chinese, gold stocks, copper stocks, silver stocks, weed stocks, uranium stocks, home builder stocks, solar stocks, restaurant stocks, big bank stocks, payment stocks. Go up here. Stocks and materials, stocks and industrial, stocks and healthcare, stocks related to Bitcoin, stocks related to finance, stocks related to consumer, real estate, semiconductor names, tech names, communication names, energy, utility, discretionary consumer. So there's all these different names, and you can see every week I'll go through and I will pick out the best names and go from there. If you're wondering why I kind of have like these all sorted out with dates and stuff, and I have this, is because I post these in Discords for people. So yeah, that's the only reason why I have this top part up here. And then every week I'll go through and I'll do a quick write-up. So there's that as well. Kind of just literally telling you guys what I just said. It's really just going through, looking at relative strength, finding the hot sectors, telling people what to look at, tankers, healthcare, restaurant stocks. See if financial stocks can continue the uptrend. And yeah, that's just the general idea. That's really how you hone in a watch list and you find the best stocks. So the really main point I wanted to get across today is we have these basic ideas of how we use the moving averages, how we identify the consolidation and the breakouts, and identifying the trend. Are we higher high, higher low? Are we breaking out of demand? Or are we bouncing off of demand? Are we breaking out of supply? Just kind of combining these ideas and just seeing where we are overall, and then kind of meshing these ideas together. Again, seeing where we are all over again with the sectors, relative strength, and just putting all these ideas again together and conforming. I think that's the right word, or forming, I guess. Just a basic idea of a strategy. That's what I want to get across today. Is we're almost to the point. We haven't implemented a couple of ideas, especially volume. That's going to take me a while to go through. But we're at the point now where we can really identify a strategy almost with simply just price action and just the indicator of moving averages. So I just want you guys to understand just how simple it is, and how I've gotten you guys to understand so much through 4 videos, and how you basically can create your own strategy now. As long as you're patient, you go through these names, like I would. I'll probably release this at the end of the YouTube series, all these stocks that I chart every Sunday. That's what I'm going to do after I upload this video in like 15 minutes. I'll go through all those stocks. I'll look for what has relative strength. I'll look for what stocks have relative strength, what sectors have relative strength, what indices or indexes have relative strength. I think I spelled this wrong right here. It's gonna like throw me off. So yeah, I look at what of those have relative strength, and then I dial in. I find what the best stocks are in those in the indices. What sectors are flowing the best in that indice or index, and then I find the best stocks. So yeah, it's really that simple, and I only allow myself to trade the very best stocks. Like again, obviously Apple looks better than Google. Obviously Apple looks better than Microsoft. Obviously Apple looks better than Meta. So what am I going to do? I'd probably trade those, or trade that name over these names, simply because it looks the best. That's the point of putting in the hours and going through all of those names, so you can identify the best possible trades and then make yourself money. It's really that simple, but because people don't have patience and they're not willing to put in an hour or two every night to go through all the charts and figure out which sectors are looking the strongest and which type of names are going to most likely go up and which stocks are going to have breakouts and which stocks are looking better than other stocks in its sector, they simply just can't perform. All it takes is like an hour and a half every night, and you can set yourself up for the entire week. That's 1.5 hours out of all of the hours you get in your entire week. 100+ hours in your week, and you can't dedicate an hour and a half to finding the best possible stocks and plays for just that entire week. That could be life-changing. That's a life-changing hour and a half. You could possibly identify the craziest setup ever and get in and perform how you should be performing when you put in the hours to identify the winners, to identify the trending stocks, to identify the stocks that are looking the best, and just doing what you should be doing. So yeah, that's the idea of relative strength, going through names and creating a basic idea of how to get through and create a watch list. You just find the best stocks, find the best sector, and what indexes are telling you. So yeah, hopefully that helped out. I'm about to go jam out to Need to Feel Loved and hop on live in Discord and go through all of those names I was just showing you and just do what I was just saying. I'm going to go chart for probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It normally takes me around an hour nowadays because I can go through them really quick. But yeah, hopefully that helped you guys out. That's how I go through trading stocks based off relative strength and finding what I'm going to be looking for throughout the week. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, please message me. Leave a comment, let me know how it is, how the videos are going, are they easy to understand, do you have any questions, etc. And don't forget to put in the hours. You have to apply this information yourself, let it absorb into your brain, and yeah, just get the job done, my friends. As always, stay happy, and have a good night.